things before we get started. I need you guys to make sure you subscribe to all the channels that we have. We don't just have this one, the Advice Show TV, but we have Advice Show Media, that channel. That's our second channel, and we do the white on white crime series. That series is very important. And also, we're probably going to change the name of that playlist, probably the Caucasian on Caucasian crime, because we're trying to go through a process of changing the little words, like we said earlier in the first live stream, because they created the word white to be so great and black to be so bad. So let's go and switch it up. And I'm going to get that out of my lexicon much as possible, and just call them Caucasian. So we're going to do that. So make sure you subscribe to that channel. The Ratchet Video Weekly channel. Some people know about that. Some people don't. That's the channel that I was using, and I'm still using it, but I need to make a video for that probably tomorrow. Well, I just want to have fun. I don't want to hear no talk about no seriousness. I don't want to hear nothing, because sometimes this drains me because it's just too much. So I like to laugh. I like to have fun, and most people that know me, I try to make you laugh more than anything. When it's time to get serious, yes, we will get serious. So also, I'm a Gemini as well. Geminis have many sides, right? So I like to joke, I like to have fun, but then I can be extremely serious, and whatever mode I'm in, I do that to the full at that time period. So make sure you subscribe to those channels. You say Jane Elliott came to your school. Okay, cool. That's real cool. Also, to those of you that are joining, we will also talk about a little later. Some of it, we're trying to move to 100% fan funding, because we have to do that. We were definitely looking on some other things. Like I said, we're 7.5% funded. And if you guys, like I say, enjoy it, only thing we ask is to help us do it more by going $5 a month, if you can, on our Patreon page. Definitely thank everybody who do the super chat as well. But we really prefer the Patreon, which is $5 a month. That's like $60 a year. And we're only looking for 3,000 people total to join us there. And that way, no matter what YouTube do with ads or whatever, we wouldn't care. We can rock, go, do what we want. That's how we want to move to. But we have enough people here now, I think. Yeah, 275 people. So, yeah, you doggone right. Gemini's run it. But let's see here. But I'll put this in here real quick. And for those who don't know about the link, let's see here. It's definitely hard work. And man, maybe I should have did the HTTP, right? Yep, I messed up. Let's do the HTTP. What is Big Sap doing? Tupac Shakur. That ain't your name. I don't see what Big Sap is doing. Sister Kimberly, what Big Sap is doing? Why they talking about him for? What is he doing? I don't see him doing anything. Okay, there we go. So you want to join the Patreon? You can join it there. Now, let's get it. Miss Jane Elliott. Like I said before, I did this back in June of 2016. Now, the first thing that she gonna talk about, you remember we talked about the success of melanated people and how these people are so jealous minded. When you get anything, when you get something, they're like, how did you get that? Are you a drug dealer? Or you do this? It's always something. And I've seen this my own two eyes on jobs. One time, the brothers was buying cars left and right, and they were tripping out that all these black brothers are buying cars. And then the melanated sister as well. See, as I told you, I'm working on it. The melanated sister was driving a Porsche Cayenne, and it was a newer Porsche Cayenne at that. So, everybody's kind of just talking about cars or whatever. And you should have seen the salty look on these people's faces. They couldn't believe that you have melanated people buying vehicles like that. Then you have them buying homes. They don't understand how you can do that. And with the clip I'm about to play, Jane Elliott going to describe why they get salty when you have something. See, they cool when you are oppressed. They're cool when you have no hope or you are in despair. They even cool that you complain that they have more than you. That is fine. But when you understand the system was created for you to be at the bottom, and when you come from that bottom that was created to put you there and you surpass those who are ahead of you, they get real salty. So let me play this first clip so you can hear exactly what Jane Elliott says about that. Let me put this up. All right, here we go. I'm gonna say something that she's gonna listen to it.
Before, but it seems to me that a lot of people within white America are really being fearful of, that's why they gravitate to Donald Trump, because they fear of their dominance with the Hispanic community, and they fear like their lives, I guess, for what's happening with Arabs, because you got to think about it. Let's keep it real. I believe in keeping it real. I'm going to do that. If you go to people's countries who's not doing you nothing, and you kill up their whole families who has nothing to do with terrorism, it's going to make everyday people like just have this hatred and want to respond. Like, they don't understand that. That's why they always say that, well, black people going to do something to us. Well, look what you've been doing for the past 400 years. Look what you've been doing today. And we still haven't really done anything, but you fear it. So it seems like when Malcolm said,
but you have done something that they take personally.
What's that?
You have survived, and you have succeeded greatly, many of you, in spite of all the obstacles we place in your path. At the same time that we have called you less than white, the members of the white color group. That makes many, particularly white males, take it personally as an insult to themselves. That you are able to be on this television show, you are able to have this kind of power, and you're black. And they don't, and they're white. What's going on here? There must be something wrong with them, and in order to make that not true, they'll say there's something wrong with you. Right now, white males are really uncomfortable in this country and have been for about the last 15 years because of affirmative action. They're quite certain that affirmative action, and I hear this all the time, white men are the ones who are being discriminated against in this country today. That's nonsense. White lawmakers allowed affirmative action to be enforced because they knew that the major beneficiaries of affirmative action policies were going to be their white wives and daughters and sisters.
Amen.
And they have been the major beneficiaries of the affirmative action policies. Make no mistake about that. Now, the reason, if you haven't read the book The Birth Dearth by Ben Wattenberg, have you read it?
Let's stop there, because that's going to be the second part. But as you heard, she's telling you herself, they are offended. She said, especially white males. And then you hear this Caucasian victimization now. They want to be victims so bad. And not all of them, because we don't broad stroke brush people. But there are those who want to be victims. Those who have that Caucasian supremacy mindset. They feel they're victims. Something's happening to them. They're losing this, they're losing that. Anytime that you make it, it is a strike against them. Understand that. Do you understand when they use the term white guilt, what that really says? If they have to tell you, I don't have white guilt, they actually have it. Because why did you have to tell me that? Why did you have to type that on the internet? Why did you do that? If it's something you don't have, there's no reason to tell somebody like myself or many others that you don't have this particular guilt. But actually, you do have it. And the reason why you do have it, our mere presence bring that guilt upon you, because you know good and well what your ancestors done. You know good and well that the things that's happening today, sure, you had nothing to do with that. I won't say you was a slave master at all, but you have no problem living in a system that was created to benefit you and not nobody else. And that is where the guilt come from. And you didn't even make a recompense for that. That's where that actual guilt come from. But as you heard her just now, your success offends some of them. She said it. Not you living in the hood, not you buying an expensive car and driving it to an apartment, because that's some things that we do. Now you're ruining your credit. Now you buying clothes that has no monetary value and you can't really sell them. But it offends them when you are a business owner. It offends them when you keep your nose clean. It offends them when you don't look forward to taxes. It offends them because they know why you're not looking forward to taxes. It offends them when you can take vacations. You're so happy and you are black people, melanated people showing up to these nice places. And they look like, what? Where they come from? They know good and well you got it. That's why you're there. So of course they're going to be trying to figure out what you got going on. So they'll go over there to you. Hi, how you doing? You know what you do for a living? Like all in your business, trying to figure out what you got going on because they're not used to seeing you coming around there. But some of them, of course, is offended. They can't go there either. But they just mad that you went. You took your family on vacation. You got a decent, home. You live in a good area, nice car. And your stroke is so much different. That's why they hate you too, because you don't care less about them at all because forget them. That's your attitude. And when their response to you when you act like that is what? You uppity. You doggone right I'm uppity. I'm uppity all day long because I made sure to fight between all the traps that's set for me to get to where I need to be. It's kind of like what happens with us. Do you know, like they said that the wealth gap between the melanated people and the Caucasian people is 240 years. That's quite strange because chattel slavery was what? 246 years, right? So it makes sense. And then I did a video. Make sure you check the playlist called Knowledge is Power about how Caucasian Americans got ahead. It showed you all of the programs that was given to them for them to get ahead as well. So we definitely document that. But we do this and put out this information to educate you, to bring hope, have you to think a little different, because sometimes some of you are so downtrodden and with no hope at all. And that's why you're not going to do nothing with your life, because without hope, you can't live. Without having vision, boy, when I hear the word vision now, I laugh because I don't know if some of y'all seen Willie Dynamite and that dude named Bill. I wish I could play that. I'll be laughing all day. But if you don't have a vision for your life, you're not going to live either, right? And even the scriptures teach hope deferred makes the heart sick. So you don't want your heart sick. So you got to have some sort of hope. Yes, I see a lot of despair. I know. It's not perfect. I get it. And if you feed yourself the propaganda of Caucasian supremacy, you're going to not have any hope. They're not going to show you anything good about yourself. Remember, they want to do anti-melanated propaganda to make you feel like the most horrible people in the world. Understand something. You have a lot of smart people in our group who are doing very well, and they may not be known. You have many business owners. There's many people. You think about the young brother that got accepted to all those Ivy League universities. They wanted him. Think about the little young sister that I did a video on a while back. Got over $2 million worth of scholarship offers. If we were so downtrodden, if we were so not smart, and it's quite funny how they need a test to tell them they're smart. I think that's the funniest thing ever. If you have all these issues with you, Logan Johnson, thank you for donating to the collection plate. I just looked over and saw it. If you have all these things that's wrong with you, it's amazing how you've overcame. See, also, never. There's also a scripture in the Bible that teaches to never compare one with another. You can't compare yourself to no other group of people in this country. You can't do it. In order to compare yourself with other people in this country, they have to have exactly your story. See, if you know how some people love to compare melanated people to Caucasian people. Oh, these Caucasian people do this. These Caucasian people do that. They always constantly compare what we do to them. They didn't go through 246 years of chattel slavery, beaten, ostracized, castrated, humiliated, demeaned, raped. They didn't go through any of that here. So how could you compare yourself to that? You can't. 100 years of Jim Crow. They didn't go through that. How are you comparing yourself to that? Fighting through the civil rights movement, the Klan, bombing your churches, doing all that, burning your towns that you built with your own hands, not their hands, your hands. Burning your whole towns down, not your neighborhood, your town. That's what I need to get black people to understand. Melanated people to understand it's a force of habit. You had towns, not a hood, towns. We talk about Rosewood. We talk about Slocum, Texas. We talk about, we always mention Black Wall Street, but they built that stuff themselves. They didn't ask these people. They couldn't go around these people. So my mindset is, if you literally build towns, you literally innovated so many things here in this nation. In spite of your 246 years of slavery, your Jim Crow, your prison slavery, all the things these people have done to you. Do you understand why Jane Elliott said it is offensive? We put them through hell and look what they still done. Think about that. You trying to sabotage somebody so much and they still came out on top. That gotta be messed up. You sabotaging people and they still good to heaven. You know why? Because I tell you this, you have to believe in God or not. I don't care if you believe in him or not. We are the people of the Lord. And when the Lord is with you, you're going to always come out on top, no matter what people do to you, period. And God always has a righteous judgment. He does. And what you're seeing right now going on with a lot of those is that the judgment has begun. That's scripture that teach the sins of the fathers visit the children up to the third and fourth generation. God always give you a chance to repent. And if you choose not to repent, you choose to be arrogant, that's you. But when the judgment comes, always remember it's righteous, because he gave you plenty of chances. He gave you over 400 years to repent. You chose not to do it. You think that's not going to have a day where that's going to have to end? I don't think I'm just trying to tell you guys is pay attention. Pay attention. You know, some of you say you don't believe in the scriptures, but some of the scriptures got some answers to the things in the Old Testament. And we're going to get to the next thing. Talking about the struggle birth rate. In the Old Testament, do you know barrenness was a curse from God? Jane Elliott, you talking about Jane Elliott herself, what she's doing is backing up something that I'm saying. Do you know barrenness was a curse? And it's global that they're talking about. They're trying to explain the way, but it's global. No, it's not nothing you really can explain. But I want you to hear the next thing she's going to say. She's going to get into that. And there's a book she's going to talk about called The Birth Dearth. I want you to listen to what she's about to say and pay attention. She's going to lay out what Donald Trump and these Republicans are trying to do literally right now, verbatim what's in that book. Let's go ahead and play that.
No, ma'am.
All right. The Birth Dearth is a book written by a man who was a member of the American Enterprise Institute, an ultra-conservative right-wing think tank, which gives advice to presidents of the United States. Ben Wattenberg's book says, the major problem confronting this country today is there aren't enough white babies being born in the United States of America. If we don't do something about this and do it immediately, we white people will lose their numerical majority in the United States, and this will no longer be a white man's land. Now, he says there are three things we can do to solve this problem. Number one, we can pay women to have babies, as they have been doing in Western European nations for years. Then he says, and these are his words, not mine, unfortunately, we would have to pay women of all colors to have babies, so we don't want to do that. He says the second thing we could do is increase the number of legal immigrants allowed into this country every year. Then he says, unfortunately, the majority of those wanting to come to this country today are people of color, so we don't want to do that. Then he says, and this is the one that scares me and ought to scare every female in the United States. The third thing we can do is remember that 60% of the fetuses that are aborted every year are white. If we could keep that 60% alive, that would solve our birth dearth. Now, what does he want to do with the other 40% of those fetuses? He doesn't mention that.
Mm-hmm.
He only mentions that 60% of the fetuses that are aborted every year are white. We need to keep those alive. Now, if that doesn't explain to you the right to life movement and the absolute determination to do away with women's rights to abortion, if that doesn't explain to you Dinosaurus T. Rump's complaint about all those people coming in over our southern border who happen to be people of other than the white color group, if that doesn't explain all that to you, I don't know what will. You need to take a look at that book and read it and see if I am reading it with jaundiced eyes. Because when I see something that looks racist, I think, well, if it looks like a duck, it quacks like a duck, and it waddles like a duck, it's probably a duck. Mr. Dinosaurus T. Rump is undoubtedly a racist. We can't afford that. We can, and the people who are following him, you need to, here's something else you need to remember. The number of hate groups in this country has exploded since Barack Obama became president of the United States. White males in this country are fully aware that within 30 years, at our present rate, within 30 years, white people will be in the numerical minority in the United States of America. And we're scared to death that when that happens, people of those other color groups are going to want to treat us the way we have wanted to treat them. Now, the way to avoid that being ugly is to change the way white members of the white color group treat members of other color groups today in order to prepare for a better future than we've had in the past. You didn't ask me to give a speech, did you? I charge a lot of money for this generally.
All right. You heard it. You heard it. You heard it. You heard it. So they writing books about it. They've been knowing about this. They are afraid. The first thing she said was they could pay women, but they don't want to do that because they don't want to pay other groups of women to have babies and not producing white babies. They talk about the immigration, but it's mostly people that's not white. And the third thing she's brought up was basically stopping the white women from having abortions. Now, notice she said, and this is something that, and I knew, I've been knowing this, but I didn't hear that figure until I reviewed this again. There's a lot of our melanated men that say, well, the women in our group is the leaders of abortion. I knew that was not true, but she quoted the number of 60% within her own community. So they can't be the leaders of it if they're quoting 60%. Just the other day, and I don't know if you pay attention to Republicans, once again, stop Title X funding going to Planned Parenthood. Now, you know me, I'm not for the Planned Parenthood because it was started to kill our people, period. But they didn't do that Title X situation to help us. They did it, like she said, in that book, period. And they can try to ban abortion. They can overturn Roe versus Wade, but I'm going to tell you something. It's nothing you're going to be able to do with that situation. And if you look at everything that was created, even look at their women, they're the reason why they women don't even want to have kids with them. Like, if you get off of the hate, man, if you get off the oppression, like, the thing is, if you even look at the history of, Caucasian women, they dudes oppressed them too. If you look at the history, they used to beat them. They didn't let them vote. They didn't let them buy land. They didn't let them do anything. And on top of that, you think about child slavery. You have a slave owner going out to the plantation in the slave quarters, having sex with these women, and then coming back in the house. Now, most women know the smell of another woman that's not her, and she couldn't say nothing about it, or she'd get herself beat, because that used to happen a lot too with the women. It still happens to this day. And something else I thought that was quite strange, and I'm still trying to figure that one out. They talk about the birth rate, but I notice when Caucasian women get with melanated men, I never see a problem with them having children. Why is that? Have you noticed that? And multiple children at that. I don't know if you noticed that. Well, that's not even a conversation. That's so untrue. I can't stand, I'm not going to divert from the conversation on that. But the thing is, I would say this. If you stop with the racism, those who are doing it, of course, if you just look to treat everybody equally, repent of the things you have done, or you have been silent about, things you have allowed to go on, and you knew that was wrong, then maybe things would change. But I don't really think they will, because when you get used to something, you're raised into something, you don't want to lose that position. You don't want to lose that supremacy that you have. So there's nothing you're going to be able to do about it. I know you get upset. I know, you post all your memes about, immigration is genocide, and diversity is genocide. No, it's not. See, the thing is, how is diversity genocide? Let's think about that. You saying that you can't be around different groups of people or you're going to die out? I don't say, well, I'm afraid of them Asians coming around here because, black people going to die off. It's genocide for Asians to come around black people. Or, Hispanics or whoever else. We don't say that. You know why we don't say that? Because anybody we touch, they turn into a version of us. You know that. When a black man had marked his kid. You know that. Oh, So I ain't got to worry about that. Well, with us. And I'm saying ain't. I don't care. I ain't worried about no people coming around us. Not worried. But they say it's immigration and diversity is genocide. No, it was genocide. And the thing is, a lot of these people are so arrogant. It amazes me, the arrogance. They're worried about all day what melanated people are doing to themselves, but don't worry about their own community. They will talk about the crime in Chicago like they care about us like that, but they won't talk about the crystal meth, which is an epidemic. They won't talk about heroin, which is an epidemic. They won't talk about the prescription drug abuse, which is an epidemic. They won't talk about the Caucasian on Caucasian crime, which goes on all over the country, but yet it is silent. You're not talking about the Caucasian supremacist terrorists, which we are seeing a lot of them, and we have to label them as terrorists just as much as you would label Islamic terrorists or anybody else. No, you don't want to address any of that. And the Caucasian-owned media is in with it, and they're actually hurting their own group in the process by not reporting anything. Then I have Caucasian people tell me, well, why is it that when something happens to melanated people, the news show everything, but when it happens to us, they don't show nothing? The question is, you need to go to them and ask them that question, not me. And I'm going to tell you why they actually don't do it, because it doesn't sell newspapers and it doesn't bring ratings, period. Whether black people are laughing and joking, dancing, or even dying, it still will be watched a lot more than anybody else. And definitely they're going to watch more than what happens to you. I didn't make that up. I'm just giving you the harsh reality. They're in it to make money. I know you could find stories that you have police officers are killing innocent Caucasian people just as much as they're doing it to black people. Yes, it's out there. I've seen the videos, but they're not going to show that. Why? Because they're not going to sit up there and tarnish the image of the police because they in bed with them. They got to protect the image of the white male, which 9 times out of 10 is going to be a white male cop to do that. They're not going to put it out there that these police will kill a Caucasian person. But it's easy when you brought the race issue in it, because then the media could throw in the race issue. They could say, oh, well, we don't know if it was because this person was melanated and he's a Caucasian cop. Then they could benefit off of the racial tensions and the viewership and all the other stuff. You can't really benefit off of a racial tension when it's a Caucasian cop and a Caucasian person. You can't benefit. Race sells. I don't know if you realize that or not. Why do you think Fox News has built their whole platform on race? Because they know that there's people within a Caucasian group that can't get enough of hearing about doggone race and how horrible other people are outside of them. Period. You can have Bill O'Dummy beating his wife. He still keeps his job. Sexually harassing women, he still keeps his job. It'd have been anybody else, especially a melanated man. He'd have been gone from networks a long time ago and ostracized. But this is what we see here in America, because you created that system to benefit, especially Caucasian males. You think the things that Donald Trump is doing, Barack Obama could get away with, colluding with Russia, talking with Russia, even the mere look of Russia. You think Barack Obama could have got away with that? His national security guy leaves because of Russia. His attorney general had to recuse himself because of Russia. All this stuff about Russia 24/7. If Barack Obama would have been lying on Bush, saying he wiretapping, all the stuff that he's doing, not George Bush, Barack Obama would have been gone. He would have made 30 days. But because he's a Caucasian male, he can get away with a lot of stuff. It takes an arm and a leg to do something to a Caucasian male. But if you melanated, just like that, it's over and done with for you. But understand something. That system is slowly crumbling. Your good old boy system that you got on jobs, or good old girl system. You sit there and you get the most unqualified person within your group jobs over other groups of people who are actually 10 times and 20 times more qualified than you. You have given people that you hired in with no education, people that have been there for years, and then you give them a supervisor job. You ain't been there not even a year, but yeah, you over people who got more experience, more education and everything. But just because you are part of the good old boy or good old girl system, you get in, and then you get arrogant. Like, oh, why can't they do this? Why can't they do that? Well, we don't have a good old boy or good old girl system. But that's okay, because your system's crumbling every day. And see, when she said about 15 years, they've been complaining, the past 15 years is that good old boy system and good old girl system is slowly drying up. At that point, you're going to have to compete for resources, compete for jobs equally. It's going to suck when you have to compete equally when you've never been in a position to compete equally. It's just like you see a lot of these suicides that's happening too. There's a lot of suicides happening in the Caucasian community, and they attribute it to no hope and despair. They feel lost. They feel forgotten. They don't have jobs. They're struggling. They don't know what to do. And I'm like, when I heard that the other day, they did a big special about this the other day. I said, oh, so basically what's going on, they starting to feel like the ends now. They starting to feel they can't get a job no matter what they do. They're poor. They got to be on the government. They don't know what to do. Don't know where their next meal going to come from. So that's the response. Well, imagine that times 1,000 with us. See, we know how to survive it. We've never had a system built for us to make it. We never had it. So since we never had it, we'll be okay. That's why when it comes to Donald Trump, he doesn't bother me. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because it don't matter what he do, we've been through it already. Period. A lot of you are complaining about the Title 10. You're complaining about the things that he's taken away, the things he's doing. We used to having things taken away from us all the time. Ain't nothing new for us. We know how to make $1 out of 15 cents. We come up like that. We know how to have. We know not to have. We know how to fix food at the crib. How we got to do is stretch that food out. Shoot, if it's some rice and beans and some sort of meat, I guess we all got to start eating because we don't have it like that. No matter what, we are a strong people. We will make it. Trust me. Donald Trump is not going to do nothing for them. And then they say, well, let's bring back manufacturing jobs. Okay. Do you realize if they bring a manufacturing plant, it's not going to be the amount of jobs as it was in the 30s? I'm explaining to you. Automation. They got machines to do jobs they used to hire people to do. And if I am a major corporation, Ford, whatever, I will want the machine, not you. I'm going to tell you why. A machine doesn't call in sick. A machine can't get pregnant and need maternity leave. A machine doesn't need vacation. I don't have to pay unemployment insurance. I don't have to pay workman's comp. I don't have to pay anything. I just spend money on this machine, get a maintenance plan, and just use it till it breaks until I buy another one. You just need minimum amount of people. And the more and more is coming along, even your local McDonald's are moving to a kiosk system where they don't need cashiers. They're doing it in a lot of different places. Like, they cutting out jobs due to technology. And if you haven't created something of yourself and you're depending on this system, it's going to be a lot of days of no hope, no despair for you. I'm telling you, get ready for it, because it's going to increase times 10. We'll be okay. I'm talking about us in the black community, because we know how to deal with it and actually float real well through that system. This is why I'm telling melanated people, create your own job. Find what you're good at, something you like to do naturally that nobody had to train you to do, and create a business out of that. Don't depend on this system for everything. Understand you got to work, do that, but look to create your own business as well as you're working. That's what you just have to do, because not everybody have it where they can just quit their job and go full time in the business. Now, if you got a spouse that's making good money, you can do that. God bless you. Or you got a big savings. God bless you. But most people don't. So you have to work your job while you're building that at the same time. But we must understand that your success is something that we need in our community. This is why I talk to the men. The men, you are the driving force within our community. You have to do it. I don't want to, for me, I don't take excuses very well from men, because I know what you're capable of. If I felt that you weren't capable of being a leader in your community, if you weren't capable of being successful, look at all the things these people have done to us, and we still here. First of all, we should have been wiped out, and yet we still made it, and we still doing better. In spite of, you can't tell me we don't have resiliency, the men and the women in our community. You can't tell me that, because you look at history and that's the greatest preacher to you on who you are. So when I come hard at men and saying, I don't want to hear your excuses about no women, I don't want to hear no excuses about this or that and the third. I know you can do it. That's why I talk to you that way. I had one brother who was talking to me about something, and he had a legitimate thing going on. And brother, you in there, so you know what I'm talking about. He said that he had graduated school. I think he said he had 3.8 GPA, and he became a certified electrician. But he cannot get a job because every time he, I think he said that he do an interview, they want him for an interview. They say they're hiring. He show up, they say they're not hiring. Clear cut case of just treating his brother bad, because he is a melanated man. And they don't, and it's true what he was saying, they don't want to see you as a melanated man with no job making 30 to 40 bucks an hour. They don't want, or 50 bucks an hour in some cases. They don't want to see you with that. They feel that's for a Caucasian male to have, not you. They feel giving you that job take away from a Caucasian male. Shoot, they didn't want a Caucasian female with it, because they feel like it's taken away from a Caucasian male. What they want, they keep even talking about this. We need to go back to the 50s. Yeah, okay, when black people, melanated people didn't have rights. Even your women didn't have rights. All you want them to do is be bath-feeding pregnant at home, watching your kids, because they don't even like competing with their own women for jobs, because they feel that these CEO positions, You got the CEO of YouTube. Some of them feel that that's a job that shouldn't be for a Caucasian male, not for a Caucasian female. Well, that's what they want to go. That's like they dream. Oh my God, if I can live in the 50s. Oh, it'll be so great. Well, you weren't born in the 50s. I don't know what to tell you. It's a different rodeo. It's definitely a different rodeo. So I approach the men because, like I said, you are the leaders. I'm not going to ever approach women. I don't even want to even entertain that. Let women deal with women. As men, we deal with each other. This is what we do. And if we take the leadership and run with it, this is the thing. Some of you on this, well, they won't let me lead. See, that's your problem. You asking. You don't ask to do anything. As a man, you do it. Period. You don't have to ask nobody to do anything. You take your rightful position within your community and you do it. Stop begging everybody to do anything. You don't need no permission. It's okay to be yourself, because I know a lot of you need to hear that. It's okay to be yourself. It's okay for you to look in the mirror and love yourself, love the skin you're in. It's okay to love the hair you have. It's okay to appreciate yourself as a person. You don't need permission to laugh, to cry, how to feel. You don't need to look at nobody else outside yourself and God on your decisions and what you think. Because a lot of you feel that, well, I'm not validated unless these people say I'm validated. And that's so wrong. As long as you feel you're validated and God feels you're validated, that's all you need. You don't need nobody else. And like I said, take your rightful position within your community, period. What happens with these folks, that's how I look at it. In a way, I feel bad for them. And I know you may say, well, in a way I do, because I would want to be in a position to have to deal with God on that. I don't want to. Now, what I will say, though, there is a remnant of them that are good. Your Jane Elliott's of the world, even though they don't show them, they're out there. I've met them here and there. And they're the best people you can meet. There's a remnant of them that will be saved, for sure. But the ones that perpetuate that system and believe it's right and teach that, evil to children, no, they got to deal, like I said, they got to deal with God. I'm not God. I don't know. But at the end of the day, there's brighter days ahead. If you keep, your head up, you try to unify, stop trying to tear each other down, male and female. And let's go on and look at what we have. Take leadership within our community. Don't fall for, oh, well, you guys, you went through so much and let's join this group together and stand up against hate. No. You stand up against hate. I'm not getting bit by a dog. I'm not getting beat up. I'm not having military vehicles come outside. You're not going to use our voice, our fight, and our spirit to fight for you. And then when you're done getting what you want, you're going to say, screw you once again, melanated people. I'm going to go enjoy myself off of the back of your fight while you get screwed again. No more of that. I don't advocate fighting for nobody until you show me you're genuine, and you have to show and prove. You're not going to come to me and just say, oh, I feel your plight. I'm pretty sure you do. Everybody knows the plight, but you go fight for your own like we had to fight. We fought and died for this stuff. You fight for your own. Does everybody want to be our friend all of a sudden now? Everybody. Oh, come on, brother. We got to join again. What were you for the past 8 years when these race soldiers were going crazy? They're going crazy. I ain't hear you say brother. I ain't hear that. None of that brother stuff. Now all of a sudden it's a brother stuff. And it's the truth. And I know some people deem the truth as hate, say the people. But it's the truth. I'm not for that protesting. I tell people that all the time. Don't tell me about no protest. We're going to protest. Man, forget a protest. If protest not followed by concrete action, what are you doing? What are you doing? You see, when King and them was protesting, they followed it with action. We protest in the buses. We follow the action of a boycott. Just for example. They treating the black men wrong in the sanitation department. the black men after that, they boycott. It was always an economic punishment to messing with them. That's what got King knocked off. That, trust me, he knew the formula. I'm gonna tell you what I'm about to do, and you about to pay financially. But the problem with us today, we don't want to suffer for 5 minutes to not spend something that nobody's forcing us to spend. That's what I understand. Like, that was unity. When they boycotted those buses, they say, you know what? Hey, all of us ride in this car and going to work. I'm going to drop you off. I'm going to drop you off. This is what we're going to do. We're going to stick together. That's unity. If we had an inkling of that unity that those brothers and sisters had, we'll get so many things done. But now everybody all separated here, separated there. You don't like this one. You don't like this one because they believe in this. You don't like that one because of their gender or whatever the case. You got so many things. You're going 100 different ways and ain't getting crap done. And then in the process, you're going 100 different ways. You think you know everything in the process. And once again, you're not getting nothing done. Like I said, man, forget a belief, or forget gender, forget all that crap. Man, let's just join together, fix our problems. After that, we can just go back to what we was doing before until we fix our issues. Because trust me, let me tell you something. As that man slowly go down, you going down, a lot of you going down with him. I'm going to repeat that. As that system falls, a lot of you going to fall with it. I'm going to tell you why you're going to fall. Some of you are so attached to that system. Some of you are so comfortable being even oppressed that you will fight against another melanated person trying to speak against that and saying, let's be free. Let's do for ourselves. You don't want to do that because you're comfortable with oppression. You're comfortable with begging them for everything. What are you going to do when he can't even feed himself? What are you going to do? You think he's going to feed you? Do you realize that the day going to come? It's coming. I'm warning you, it's coming. He going to cut you off. What are you going to do? And don't tell me, I got kids. What are they going to do? What are you going to do? They're yours. I'm telling you, do it now while you got a chance. Fix yourself now before they cut it off. That Donald Trump cutting everything. I'm telling y'all think it's a game. Donald Trump going to cut that mess off. And he don't care if he hurt his own people because he's the elite. And that's the funny thing about them people. They sat up there and thought this man, oh, he thinks different. Man, this dude don't even live your life. He don't know how it feels to be poor. I don't get that. How you be a champion of the poor and you never been poor? You don't know how it feels. But these people believed him. He ruffled the feathers with the race thing because, you know, I can get a majority of my own to get on my side as long as I have a racial message. And he did it. Now they crying about some of the things he's doing now. Don't cry now. You voted for that man. He gonna cut it. But I'm trying to tell you, you get what I'm saying? In our community, you better get your act together because they're gonna have to cut it off. America's in too much debt. They can't keep feeding you for free. You know it's not a right. You say a lot of what? Yeah, they will suffer, but they don't care. When they suffer, it's their business. Because when you in a system that's built for you and you still not making it, it's kind of hard for me sometimes with that. Versus us, we sit back and we still got to fight. The problem is, I think one of the worst things that ever came in, and I wish they removed, I can't wait till Donald Trump remove that stuff, is that welfare system. Because prior to that, we were fine. We was working. We found a job like anybody else found a job. We had our own business. We had everything. A lot of people say desegregation. I get that too. But that welfare, I think, hurt more than anything. And they you have to literally be in poverty to get it. But the day coming, they're going to have to cut that mess off. What you going to do? Don't be acting a fool at the food stamp office like that time in Atlanta a few years ago where they couldn't get their food stamps. They was acting a fool. What are you going to do when they say we ain't got the money to pay no $40 billion a year anymore? We don't have it to give you $40 billion worth of food. What about the kids? I don't have it. Figure it out. It's going to get to that point. These folks don't stop wars, All they do is drop bombs in people's countries. That costs money. They trying to start. Have you been paying attention to the news? The Secretary of State Rex Tillerson making threats to North Korea. Like, they trying to get in another war. Y'all don't get, and they still involved with the Middle East. War means more to them than food. Your boy Trump just asked for more money, more than normal for military spending. Why did he do that? This dude gonna be cutting stuff off. What I'm telling you is, get your house in order now. Not later, now. Don't think you have time. Oh, I got time. I ain't worried about that. Okay, and when you out there pissed off, these people cut you off, don't say nothing. He already made cuts with Section 8. It's a lot of Section 8 people gonna lose their Section 8. That's what they don't realize. I get these notifications on my phone, the things they cutting. Y'all find out the hard way later. Oh my God, they say they wouldn't renew my Section 8 because they made cuts with the government. And you're going to say, dog, Phil said it. He said, I'm warning you, this dude's doing it. This dude don't care about you. He going to do so many cuts with that housing. And then at the end of the day, when people be mad and trying to say, oh, he doing it because of race, I ain't doing it because of no race. Look, Ben Carson, he's the head of it. Like y'all don't even get all the stuff this dude about to do. He already set the play. He set the play up already. Y'all don't catch it. All them photo ops this dude did with these black folks at Trump Tower. That's going to be his scapegoat to say, I'm not no racist. What are you talking about? I talked to Kanye. You see, he was at Trump Tower. I talked to Steve Harvey. I talked to Jim Brown, Ray Lewis, Pastor Scott. All Ben Carson's my hood secretary. Like, what are you talking about? Omarosa is in my cabinet. Like, what are you talking about when he's making these cuts? That's what he's going to tell you. So I'm saying this: get your house in order now. Figure it out now. Don't say nothing later. You've already been warned what this guy's going to do, and really, you don't want to be in a position where you depend on these people. These people have never proven themselves to be loyal to you like that. And like I said, you don't want to depend on that, because really, a lot of countries all over the world, they don't have welfare. You either get it how you live. That's the way it works. So welfare isn't a right. Food stamps isn't a right. It's not. It's not. If it's not put in the Constitution, so say, then they can cut that at any time. And I feel more so than ever, a lot of you need to pay attention to that. These people just put in also the other day, in order for you to get unemployment benefits, they put it where they're going to drug test you. Also, they're going to drug test you for food stamps. All these laws these Republicans are doing, and Trump going to sign these things that just getting approved. I'm telling you, so don't be surprised when you go over there for unemployment and say, here, a cup, you need to pee in it. You're like, what? Pee in the cup. If you don't pass this test, you're not getting unemployment. Then when all that stuff started happening, you're going to hear more weeping and wailing in this country. And I'm going to still say the same thing. Y'all deal with that. Because when we didn't eat, we couldn't get no benefits. You talking about losing your health care. Black people didn't even have health care. Shoot, we barely go to the doctor sometime. We go to the emergency room. That's where we go when we poor, because they have to see you then. Shoot, we can't go to the dentist to go to the emergency room. We never not used to no insurance, no health insurance. Health insurance. That's why I say we'll be okay. Just the thing I'm concerned about is those of us who are living on the system and feel, well, that's a way of life and it'll always be there. I'm telling you, it's not gonna always be there. Not with that Trump and Bannon up there. It ain't always gonna be up there. They're looking to get rid of you. Oh, the app is called. I'm looking on my phone. The app is called Vote Spotter. If you have an iPhone, I guess it's on Android as well. It's called Vote Spotter, and what you do, you put in your zip code, and it's going to show you your representatives and your House of Representatives and your senator or senators that represent your area. They're going to show you exactly how they voted on all these different laws that came up. Yes, no, and they're going to tell you what laws they were voting on. So it's called Vote Spotter. Well, this person is talking about the Middle East. Nobody asked y'all to go over there. That's your problem. Stay out of people's countries. You stay out of everybody else's country and stay here and fix your problems here. Then maybe that you can't stop people doing what they do in their country. I don't care what other people do in their countries as long as they're not bothering me. But the thing is, you want to be on this world domination. It's catching up with you. You're breaking your country by doing that. Notice other countries of the world is not trying to be in everybody else's country running it. Yep, that's it, sister. Yeah, download it to your phone. Thank you, Sister Kimberly, for putting that in there. Yeah, and just keep up with what these people are doing. You be like, look, what the hell they doing? What the hell they voted on? So you won't be surprised. Yeah, you're right. Look, everybody's country is different for a reason. Every group of people is different for a reason. We're not all the same. Period. We're not all the same genetically. We're not all the same in thought. We're not all the same in religion. We're not the same. We can't have a uniform standard for everybody in different countries of the world. If those people believe in a certain form of Islam, that's their business. Who are you to go over there with your Caucasian version of Christianity? Because that version of Christianity ain't been nice either. You act like them people they do some barbaric stuff. I agree with that. Some of them who practice the radical Islam, but what about your radical Christianity? Caucasian Christianity. What about that? You say you was good Christians while you was enslaving my ancestors, while you were raping them and mutilating them. What about the medical experiments that was done to melanated women during slavery? You don't talk about that horrible stuff. These women going through medical procedures with no anesthesia, nothing. They talking about blacks. They can take more pain. Because do you know medically that's the perception that we could take more pain? It's just ridiculous. Oh, that's a good question. What can you do? I'm just 12 years old. Get your education, learn, figure out what you're going to do in life, and be a good person. That's really what you can do. But education at your age is the key. Stay out of trouble. Don't get in no trouble with these people. Don't hang around people that's going to lead you to get in trouble. Oh yeah, that's that book. That's right, sister. Medical Apartheid. That's right. That's the name of that book. That book is Check out that stuff they done to a lot of the women. If you look at the stuff that went to a lot of men and women, even our babies, you like, how did we survive that? It has to be God. That's the only thing I can think of, because we should have been wiped out. Period. Put it like this: knowledge itself is power, and those who control knowledge has that power as well. That's why when we was talking about all the stuff with YouTube and the companies and mainstream, how they want to control the narratives, they want the mainstream to have it back, because they know that too many of you guys are waking up. Too many of you guys are seeing their game for what it is, and you're not gonna put up with it. You're hurting their pocketbook. lot of you, like I said earlier, you canceling cable accounts, satellite accounts, and you only having Netflix. You know how much money they losing by you canceling your cable? And really, we all at a point we can just about cancel it all. If you think about it, it'd be so much cheaper because a good cable package is like $100 some more possibly. Now, you got to have your internet, but outside of that, well, why the mainstream get to have it? I guarantee you people start canceling their cable accounts and them advertisers learn everybody's on the internet. They're like, what's going to happen? They're going to say, well, we're not going to be on TV too much no more because nobody watching. Who really watches TV anymore? Well, the thing is, like I said, they have a lot of channels on TV that's good, and that's fine. That's what you want to watch. Get the most inexpensive package, or just get something that you like. Some people like Stars, some people like HBO, or whatever you want to watch. That's your business. Like I say, some people getting the Fire Sticks. You get the Fire Stick, you get every channel you want. Now, that's from what I've seen with people that have them. What does that comment say? I don't know what that y'all talking about. Well, I don't know how long. And I'm glad you brought that up. They do they shows kind of like we do on the internet. Notice they don't report the news anymore. Like back in the day, it used to be, okay, this happened. This is a story, X, Y, Z. That's it. Not everybody got commentary shows. You notice that on the mainstream? They literally copying everything we do on the internet. I can show you so many shows. They're literally taking what we do on the internet and trying to do it on mainstream, hoping, oh, we can get the same audience. You're not going to get the same audience because you got too much going on. You got an agenda. You're not just genuine with the situation. That's your problem. And instead of seeing the people that's actually doing it and say, you know what, maybe we could, work with them or do something. No, you don't want to do that. You want to sit down, look at what people doing on their YouTube channels and study it and mimic it and then recreate it. That's how these people are. They don't want you to do it when you understand how to do the situation. They just want to take your stuff or take other people's ideas that set some things up and just run with it. There's certain people on this platform I feel should have a show. Some people need reality shows on here. I'll be honest with you. Some people are highly entertaining on here. Highly. The stuff they got going on. I said, let me get some money and set my network up. I bet, boy, please. I have some reality shows just for people off this website. Pay them some money to do a reality show. Because they just entertaining a lot of them. Yeah, mainstream. Yeah, you're right. Because of the internet, it has changed. Yeah, and the thing is, the internet just gives you so much freedom. You don't have to pay for channels that you don't want, or none of that other stuff. That's just a wonderful thing. These people should come to the table, like these mainstream media companies. Why don't they come to the table with people that do stuff like that on YouTube and see what they can do? They say like shoot, pay them or something to help you with your stuff. But no, that's too much like humbling yourself. You're not going to do that because the first thing they need to do is get rid of the agenda, get rid of the politicians, and just stop doing what they're doing. Nobody isn't for what they're doing. And all, like you said, they take everything, and you look at, like I said, brought up once again, look at what's going on with Colin Kaepernick. Black people make the NFL, yet they gonna try to treat that man the way they're treating him. I'm telling y'all, if black people need to not watch the NFL, for real. I don't have to watch a single game from them. It won't cost me not a dime, or I don't lose no sleep because I got plenty to do. I don't have to watch no NFL game because one thing you should be afraid to do is mess with your bread and butter. If you're willing to piss off your bread and butter, you don't respect them. See, as black people, we got to show these groups that you don't mess with our brothers. You don't mess with our sisters. If you do that, you're going to lose money. And I think really we need to get on that. Boycott the NFL if they're not going to sit there and let Colin Kaepernick play. And they doing it not because he can't play. They doing it because they're trying to get at him. How dare he stand up against police brutality that's happened against melanated people. We're going to show that end to stay in his place. That's what they doing. That's exactly. Yeah, we can create a league, or you can make them do what you want. My thing is this: we gotta have some strong people to say, why is it we got 32 teams, but we don't have no black owners in this NFL? We the majority of this league, and we not running nothing. We not running it. You notice that most of all the coaches, except a few, are Caucasian male. You mean melanated men can't be coaches? Last time I checked, few of them won Super Bowls. You can't have them. See, the thing is, it's always a racial element in a lot of this stuff. You could be the workers, but you can't be the supervisors or the owners. That's the way they run it. We even pay you as a high-paid worker, but we're not going to let you be a GM. We're not going to let you be a head coach, player development, And if we do, that's fine, but you're not going to be the head guy. You're not going to be right next to the owner. They put you on there. Well, like I said, let me get things right. Shoot, I set up all kind of reality shows. Y'all would love my reality shows if I had put them on. It won't be that love and hip hop crap. But anyway, you look at the NFL, and they just do things wrong. Same thing with the NBA. Like I think we should have had a problem with the Allen Iverson situation. Allen Iverson used to go to the game just dressed like he just whatever. He had his his clothes, he looked like he just straight from a rap video half of the time. And they didn't like that because it made them feel uncomfortable because he looks too much like a thug. And now they tell him to put on suits. Suits for what? You're going to the game. You're not going to the boardroom. If you want to be in a t-shirt, some jeans, or a hoodie or whatever, you can do that. Your office is the basketball court. You're not in the boardroom. And for them to sit there and tell grown men they got to wear suits, they should have had a problem with that. The Players Association should have had a problem with that. Yeah, anybody. Yeah, because any dude that exhibit, any kind of alpha male, he's called a thug. That's what he's called. Of course, that word is used for many things. It's used as a code word for the N word as well. When they say he's just a thug, I mean, look at the venom how they say it. He's like, oh, he's a thug. Everybody's a thug. You notice that? But they never say anything about the Neanderthal thugs. They never talk about that. Only it's just everybody's a thug no matter what. You can have an Ivy League degree and you're a thug. Yeah, that's why we talk about the code words. Yeah, and anytime you're right, sister. You're talking about that about owners of teams. Like I said, we gotta for us. This is part of getting our act together, and when you feel confident, when you stand up in who you are, like I said, as a alpha male or as a woman that's standing up and being who she really is as well, they're not gonna like you. This is why they're making a big push for feminized males. Feminized males are controlled males. Understand that. This is why they're pushing this little feminized image with hip hop. Hip hop was never what you see today. You would never see that. Like, I'm thinking if some people could just come back today who's passed away. Like, you imagine Tupac came and seen how these dudes are walking around here dressing now. I'm like, what? I mean, hip hop has turned into just, these people have just ruined a good art form in a lot of ways. And then the people who are good, they don't want to showcase them. I mean, like I said, we got to start taking our stuff back. And I say take it back and do the right thing with it too. Because you got to remember, hip hop started off as conscious music or party music. That's the two things that they did with it. And anytime these people put their hands in stuff, it gets ruined. When we have it, it's fine. Yeah, I mean, hip hop is ruined in a lot of ways. Like, look, I know everybody like who they like, and that's fine. And I'm not trying to say who you like is bad, whatever. But I'm gonna tell you right now, Drake wouldn't made it in the 90s. Drake wouldn't have made it in the 80s. I'm just giving him for example. Young Thug, the way he presents himself and the stuff he's doing, he wouldn't have made it not 2 seconds. Mumble rappers wouldn't have made it. You actually had to have lyrics to make it. And you couldn't be like nobody else. If you was copying anybody's way of rapping or their clothing style or whatever, they'll run you out. So back in the 80s and 90s, you had individuals. Biggie didn't sound like Tupac. Run DMC didn't sound like KRS-One. You know what I'm saying? EPMD didn't sound like Big Daddy Kane. Queen Latifah didn't sound like MC Light. Salt and Pepper, it didn't sound like nobody else either. Everybody was their own entity, their own little style, their own whatever. And so when you want to listen to all these different people, you get different things. And that was cool. Not everybody just they come out with auto-tune. Not everybody want to do auto-tune. You come out with this, everybody want to do the same freaking thing. I don't want to hear one rapper that sound like the next rapper that sound like the next rapper. If it wouldn't be for these producers, that art form be dead. Period. To me, the producers kind of keep it alive with the beats, the things they producing. Then you may have one or two people that slide through the cracks. And notice the people who's kind of more popular, they're different. For instance, I don't Drake, like I say, he wouldn't have made it, but Drake is different than all these other ones that you see popping up. Everybody a rapper these days. Then back then, it wasn't oversaturated. Everybody these days a rapper. Everybody got a SoundCloud. Everybody everybody can't be a rapper, man. I mean, somebody got to. What's wrong with being a producer? The producer make more money. That's the guy you want to be. You want to be the one selling beats. You want to be like Dr. Dre getting $250,000 or $500,000 for a beat. That's what you want. You ain't got to go tour. You ain't got to do nothing. You collecting your checks, just making a beat. I agree with you. 8-Ball MJG didn't sound like UGK. UGK, always a favorite. Stephanie from home. Yeah, it can go back. It can definitely go back to consciousness. Yeah, you talking about Lil Yachty. Yeah, they wouldn't have made it in the 90s. Like, they were too soft. That's that new feminized stuff. But see, that's comfortable for the mainstream. And when you're mainstream, you know who you're marketing to. That's comfortable. A dude wilding out like DMX, in X, he's still wild this day, but a dude like that wilding out, no, they don't like all that. Now, I don't know if that's going to be comfortable to, like when, you remember that time that DMX did an interview and he was talking about, can you make songs for the mainstream? He's like, I don't make my songs for them. He said, I make my songs for the streets, not them. Like tell him he ain't changing nothing. I'm like, well, that's how you do it. Why you should change for anybody? Either people like what you put out or they don't. They're always trying to tell us to tone ourselves down, to be different, to be more friendly. Like, even when I'm friendly, you suspicious, so I might want to go ahead and be myself. Yeah, you're right. Record executives are the money makers. You're right. And if, like I told people, you can give me no money because I destroy the industry. I destroy it because I find some of the best singers, the best rappers, and I finance it and I tell them, look, you stick with me, you can have your masters to be yours. Period. I'm not gonna keep your masters. I don't want them. I want you to have your own stuff. And you sit it like that because these guys and ladies don't even own their own masters. They don't even own their own names. Like Prince took a long time to get his masters. And then once he got his masters, 2 years later, then Prince mysteriously died. Michael Jackson hit him hard financially. He owned half of Sony Music. He owned the Beatles catalog. He owned all this stuff. Mike wasn't stupid. And he mysteriously died. Notice that? When you start beating them at their own game, mysteriously, you come up dead. Yeah, see, you talking about DMX. See, man, I just, even, let's talk about music. I'm going to tell you when music, like hip hop, just stopped being hip hop. When Soulja Boy came out. When Soulja Boy came out, and even though Soulja Boy was different for himself, and then I'm not knocking him, he was different. But Ice-T said this, and I'll never forget it. Ice-T said, Soulja Boy killed hip hop. He said because what happened, that little catchy dance stuff they was doing, the label saw that, and they said, oh, we got to replicate that. And everything went to that Soulja Boy kind of stuff. It derived from Soulja Boy. Prior to Soulja Boy, in the early 2000s, you had your Ludacris, you had your Houston people that went, national, like your Mike Jones and Slim Thug and all them other ones. You had a lot of good people, in the early 2000s. You had your Nellies and all this other stuff. People that still was different. They stood out on their own. They didn't copy each other. They didn't mimic each other. Your Murphy Lees. You had a lot of people. So even some of the white artists, they were different. Because at one point in time, you listen to everything. Now you don't even see everything even played anymore. And then the radio, I don't even listen to radio. Telestial radio, I don't listen to it because I don't want to hear the same song played 20 times. That's why I have XM. XM, a lot of times I'm listening to news or I'm listening to talk shows, and then when I want to hear some music, I do listen to it, because see, I get in my old school sometime. Like today, I was listening to Frankie Beverly. I was enjoying that, just some real music. You say Kendrick, Chance the Rapper, and J. Cole. They do stand out. I give them that, but they're not mumble rappers either. I can't listen to no Kodak Black. I can't listen to that. They all sound the same. Like they said, J. Cole, Chance the Rapper, and Kendrick Lamar, they don't sound the same. They actually stand out. Drake, he do stand out. I'll give him that. Nicki Minaj, even though some things I don't agree with what she do and how she present herself, she still stands out on her own. I have to give her that. No one stood out like her really since Lil' Kim. Well, you talking about Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne came out like way back in the 90s. And even if you talk about Cash Money, all of them were different. BG didn't sound like Juvenile. Juvenile didn't sound like Baby. Manny Fresh didn't sound like Lil Wayne. Turk didn't sound like, what I'm saying? Everybody sounded different, even though they all was from New Orleans. So it's, oh yeah, before I let go, yeah. Oh, you say they coming to New Orleans, Frankie Beverly and Maze? Yeah, I'll listen to that today. I was on my Tidal app this morning, and I was just going through it because, man, Tidal got so much music on there. So I was going through listening to Frankie Beverly and Maze and just enjoying it. Yeah, you're right. It sounds like trash over good beat. Kanye, I knew Kanye shouldn't have went out there with that girl. I said, Kanye need to bring that girl out of California. These brothers that go out there with them Kardashians, they get in a sunken place. Literally. I don't know what Mama Kris Jenner doing to them men, but they get in a sunken place. They lose their minds. They fine before they get with them. Then like Lamar Odom, he was fine. Playing ball, doing great. Get with the Kardashians, that boy is messing life up. Kanye, fine before he get with his, oh my God. Let's start about something. Fine with her, like, Kanye, what is going on with you, brother? And this is another thing I don't understand. You can get mad at me if you want to. I don't care. It ain't no way. And this is why I say we don't have no men no more. Ain't no way you gonna have me even entertain putting a ring on a female like Kim Kardashian. I don't care how the chick look. Man, forget that. My wife ain't about to be somebody that everybody in freaking Hollywood and LA been with. It ain't about to happen. Look, people be in relationships, they do whatever, fine. But the way that girl was running, and you married her? I just can't. I don't get that. But these dudes these days think it's cool being with strippers. Strippers. That's why you have so many women emulating strippers, because y'all dudes sit there and go chase strippers now, or chicks that look like strippers, and you wonder why they getting all the implants and getting semen injected in them, because y'all dudes will be, oh man. Y'all messing up, man. I'm getting frustrated. Y'all just messing up. You messing up. Then you got decent women out here that can't even get a dude, but y'all sitting up here chasing the Instagram girl. You get on in the NFL, you may make some money in music or whatever. The first thing you do, you go and get a stripper. Saving them. Like, what are you doing, bruh? You mean to tell me you got all this money and that's what you go get? You can't go get you a decent woman that you could make your lady, make her your wife, have a pride on your own, walking on your arm, you know, and have your kid. Brother, you can't go do that. You got to go get strippers? Strippers. And every dude that walked through there been with too. But you go wife them up. That's what you go do. No, it's true. Stop getting strippers. For real. That's not impressive. You don't impress me by walking around with a stripper. The thing is, how you gonna get in a certain spot, you doing good, and you reach down way to, man, look, I'd rather you go get the chick on Section 8 and get with her, okay? I'd rather you get with the hood chick that's not a stripper than go and get a stripper. For real. If you're gonna do that. At least I can't pull up your girls' pictures all on the internet. And this is my thing. Why would I marry a stripper? If I have children with this woman, my children are gonna go to school. You think kids don't operate the internet? My 2-year-old know how to clear my emails from my phone. She see the notification come up, she do this. And she's 2. These kids know how to operate the phone when they come out of the womb. They know how to operate a tablet. What kind of embarrassment is that your child come home and they see your wife pictures all on the internet? And I know you're gonna pull that Caucasian female feminism stuff. Oh, well, it's just empowerment. It ain't empowering, because if it was so empowering, why you had to take your clothes off? That's the only thing I'm saying. Don't sit up here and lie to yourself. It's like you drinking poison and saying, oh, it was good for me at the time. No, it wasn't. Brothers, we got to stop marrying strippers. Stop marrying strippers. Stop marrying the sex tape girl. That's not what you do. Not marriage. See, at one point in time, dudes had a code. Look, they'd be like, I'll sleep with her, but I'm definitely ain't having no babies with her, and I'm for sure not making her my girl. Did people laugh me? That's the thing. At one point in time, you wouldn't bring the stripper around with you different places, because dudes would laugh you out of where you at. Dudes would be looking at you funny because they probably been fooling with her. Don't bring her around the women in your family, because the women in your family, even they don't know it, they're going to pick up on it and they're going to put you to the side and say, hey, what's going on with that girl? She kind of fast. What's going on? And then they find out what's going on, and then they going to make her feel this small by the time they done with her. You know how black families are. You know. Like, so what you do? You're a stripper? What you doing that for? I mean, like, they just running that girl through a court case about what she doing. Question about how many kids she got, why she got the kids, who, you know, and then you sitting up there looking like Boo Boo the fool, sitting there with her. I wouldn't want to bring no woman around my family that I have to sit up there and defend or feel embarrassed about. Supposed to be proud to bring her around, proud to walk around with her. You're talking about Kim. Oh, shoot. I don't know if that girl cooked. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, yeah, they hustlers. I get it. That's what they do. That's their job. Well, my thing is, you know, y'all dudes be trying to save them these days. I don't understand that. Well, you can't tell them dudes nothing. They think they done made it. They never had money before. They think, oh, these surgically enhanced or maybe fix a flat enhanced strippers that they fooling with. They think they didn't done something, and then they broke. Or this is the killing part about it. They get the strippers pregnant, and they paying all this child support to a stripper. Boy. I heard about that Kendrick Lamar song, and I heard the women not liking it. I heard the preface of the video. I kind of read up on it, and I was gonna watch it this morning, but I just didn't. I was like, I didn't watch it because I was hearing all the, well, he did this to the light skin and dark skin. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, can we please stop the colorism? And the question I have is, I'm a black man. I have my lighter brothers and sisters, right? What's going on with that? I notice it's always a problem with the women and not the men. And it's just a question. I don't care if they feature a light-skinned brother in a video. I don't care. I don't care if a woman thinks a lighter-skinned brother look better than a dark-skinned brother. I don't have no problem with that. Don't care. But I just don't understand it. I mean, it's a legitimate issue, and it never fixes itself no matter what. I don't get it. I don't. I mean, help me to understand. Like I said, I'm the same group as you. I'm a dark-skinned man. What's going on with the ladies? You know, and some people say, well, it's the guys say they have a preference. Well, you know, some guys have a preference, but some women have a preference too. Ask a short dude how they get treated by women. A lot of women want tall dudes. They don't want the Kevin Hart sized dudes. They really, you know what I'm saying? Like, so everybody, some guys have a little bit more money than others. I mean, it's all kind of ways to how people can reject you. But look, I'm like this. It's okay if somebody say, look, I don't want to be with you because, you know, you're darker, you're this, you're that. Oh, okay, cool. I'm not mad at you. I'm not going to shame you to be with me, because if I got to shame you to be with me, then all you're going to do is cheat with somebody you like. So why waste my time doing that? I'd rather get with somebody who want me, not somebody who don't. So if I'm a dark-skinned man, I want to be with a woman that loves a chocolate man. I don't want to be with one that don't. But I don't, like I said, I don't get it. Like I said, I've seen it. Like sister Cheyenne, I guess is how you say your name. I seen it. I've seen it like on both sides. Like I've seen some darker skinned sisters treated bad. I've seen lighter skinned sisters treated bad. And I'm like, I'm trying to figure it out, because we're all black people, melanated people, right? This is who we are. Why are we treating each other different by the different degree of melanin that we have? When these Caucasian supremacists come at us, they don't care if you're light skinned, caramel color, chocolate, dark chocolate. They don't care all these different colors. All they see you as the enemy. So why do we do that? But it shouldn't even matter. Like you say, you say you like light skin and dark skin, but you like some men like whatever, right? And then some men have a preference. And a lot of times men that have a preference say, oh, well, he's color struck. Wouldn't you rather that man tell you what he like, instead of him you want him to be with you and he's not into you? Like I said, I just don't. If a lady likes a dude that's like 6'7" and up, I'm not 6'7", I'm 6 foot, but I'm not gonna force her to be with me. I'm not gonna say, oh, well, you should give a guy my height a chance. I'm not gonna do that. I'd be like, oh, for real? I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And just go on. Thing is, we all need to learn how to deal with rejection, and don't get your feelings involved with people too quick. Cause that's a big issue I see with a lot of people. We are too emotional. If you're talking to somebody, it shouldn't be so much on your shoulders to have so much emotion where if they just not interested, that it should hurt your feelings. And dudes are bad about this worse than anybody. They're horrible. They'll see a chick, oh man, she look good, and man, she bad. Then he gonna try to talk to her and she shoot him down. Man, F her. She look at her. She got some dumb weave in her head anyway. Dude, 5 minutes ago you said she was bad. Now she got some dumb weave in her head, and you saying F her, and you being rude to her. Like, come on, bro. Like, y'all dudes, y'all need to stop that. Man, take your rejection like a man. If she say no, then okay, cool. Like, hey, it's nice talking to you, nice meeting you, and go about your business. Do you realize you'll get more women too with this conversation, fellas? Simple conversation. Not trying to do all that, trying to run game, just conversation and actually listen. Because if you learn, I'm teaching something. One thing about women, they're not used to a guy listening to them. Because most guys got this, they thinking like this, what they can say fly to get at them. If you actually listen to what they're telling you, you already know where the conversation needs to go, or the conversation is not going to lead you nowhere, because you may not be interested. But you got to slow down long enough to listen and actually have engaging conversation. And if you learn how to have engaging conversation, a lot of times what happened with these ladies is like, they look at you like, man, I actually enjoyed talking to him. We were talking 30 minutes. It didn't feel like that long. And so they were like, hey, what's your number? They'll start asking you, because they're not used to a guy actually treating them like a human being. And do you realize that I actually had more ladies that would talk to me than those that shoot at women, because I would actually just have a conversation with them. That's it. And a lot of times I don't even like to, even like when I was out there dating, I don't like to compliment women's looks. Not to say I don't think they look nice, but I don't even want to go there. I just want to have a decent conversation. Now, once we start talking a little bit more and she start asking, well, what do you think about it? Okay, then I'll discuss it then. But at first, let's have a conversation. Because like women sometimes get tired of dudes shooting at them. Like all the time he running game, he trying to do, but versus a conversation, it's just like far and few in between. And then I was thinking about this today with a lot of y'all dudes. Y'all text a chick, and then she don't answer you in like an hour. You texting her again. Hey, good morning. You get my first text. She don't text you. You look up 6 hours later. Oh, I know you got my text. Like, dude, stop stalking. Text her one time and leave her alone. If she answers you 3 days later, it's 3 days later. She ain't married to you. She ain't got to respond to you, bruh. And understand, just because you may be talking to her and just having a talk, don't mean she ain't talking to other people. Understand that. If she ain't make no commitment with you, she can talk to whoever she want to talk to. So you can't demand no text messages be answered. And the same thing she need to understand that about guys. Guys talk to other women too. Don't expect your text be answered either. Because some of y'all be just texting these women, blowing these women phone up, and they get tired of y'all. And I'm telling you, for them, you make yourself look bad. Just send her one good text. That's all you need to do, and just wait. If she say something 3 days later, 4 days later, a week later, it'd be like, oh, okay, well, I guess you were busy. Ain't going by your business. Don't even be tripping on that. I'm just trying to help y'all out best way possible. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to think of everything I can tell y'all to help y'all and convey the different messages that we need to convey. Man, what in the world y'all talking about? Then earlier I saw somebody, if you with a woman, she want to keep talking to you for real. Yeah, it's true. It's true. I'm telling you, all you got to do is find out her lane. What's she talking about? That's it. And just engage that conversation. So let's say if you got a child, she has a child, then that's a connection y'all can talk about. So if she talk about her kid or whatever, then you could get into school talk. Maybe if she got a child in daycare, how she spend time, outside the kids. You can have all kind of trouble. Simple conversations like that, they get so interested instead of you saying, girl, I saw you. Like, oh, come on, bro. She wouldn't get too many dudes talking to her about daycare and talking to the teacher at school. Like, if you start saying, yeah, I went to my kid's parent-teacher conference and I'll do it, she going to look at you like, he go to parent-teacher conference? She going to just look at you like totally different right then and there. She'll be listening with interest like, wow, okay. When I'm telling you, there's certain things that they be hearing in their ear that's going to perk their attention with you. That game ain't going to, like, people could tell you do this game stuff. No, just have conversation and listen to what they're telling you and engage that conversation honestly, not dishonestly. Oh, that's a legitimate thing what you just said. They say, I find black men confusing. They say they don't like weave, but they go after the stripper look. They do. Look, stop listening to dudes and what they say they like or don't like, because guys are the most hypocritical thing ever when it comes to women. Period. Because women is a weakness for us. Let me tell you something. A guy doesn't like something until he's attracted to it. Then he can rationalize in his mind why he will go with her. He may say, look, you have a dude up here saying, man, she got 5 kids. I ain't gonna be with no woman with 5 kids. Let one of them women that look like they ain't had a single kid and whatever he likes, talk to him. Then she say she got 5 kids. He gonna start rationalizing it. Well, how old are the kids? Is it dad in their life? And she may say, yeah, they are, but I do this. Like, okay, well, he rationalizing it for real, because this woman may be the best looking thing he ever had in his face, but she got 5 kids. Same thing with the weave thing. These dudes would sit up here and say, I don't like no weave, but then it'd be some chick that they like, and they'll sit up there and rationalize that too. Well, maybe if I get with her, I can get her to take out the weave. Like they will always be hypocritical when it comes to women. So don't listen to dudes. Man, I don't care. Well, man, you ain't gonna hear me talking about no hair extensions. I don't care. I don't. I never cared about that. Women have always used wigs, hair extensions. They cut their women do all kind of stuff with their hair. And if you don't like it, well, you know, you can't be. I don't know. I don't. The thing is, them Koreans like it. They getting them billions of dollars. That's what y'all need to be getting in. Get in on that money. And then also too, when it comes to the hair extensions, some of those women are pressured in corporate America to do that too. It's not always because they like it so much. That's what y'all dudes don't understand. These women have pressure on some of their jobs to have a certain image. They are the only group of women that constantly have to be concerned with their hair, because if they wear a hair that's more, they look, they don't want them to wear it. Look how many companies got things about dreadlocks and braids. No other group of women got to deal with that problem but the women of our community. So some of y'all with the hair stuff, y'all need to stop, because do you know, like the scriptures teach, the glory of a woman is her hair. So the glory of the melanated woman is always attacked constantly from the outside and the inside. And y'all need to pay attention to what the system do to melanated women in the guise of their hair. That old decrepit bastard Bill old dummy sent up there attacking Maxine Waters this week, going after the hair. Nobody talking about his dog hair on his head, but he want to talk about this sister's hair. That's why I spoke up about it. I understand the racial tones they use talking about these women's hair. And y'all brothers that's doing that stuff, it hurts those women's feelings. I'm gonna tell you something, whether it's the women or the men, we hurt each other's feelings talking about each other because it hurts more when we do it to each other versus other people. You know, kind of like families. Other people can talk about you, but the moment your family says something to you, it hurts a lot more. It's the same thing. And, you know, as men, you may not like something, but you ain't got to make 50 freaking videos about it. Shoot, man. We can't talk about something else. They probably wouldn't be wearing the stuff. And number one, you didn't like it. Number two, they wasn't pressured by the system of Caucasian supremacy on jobs to conform to a black version of a white female. If you want to stop that, create the jobs where they don't have to conform to no image. They can wear all the natural hair they want on their jobs. That's what you do. Create the lane for them. Then they may feel like, shoot, I don't need to wear this no more. I ain't got to go back to this corporate job no more. My brother done got me in the same kind of job, making the same money or more. What's the answer to that? Like I said, hey, you want to wear natural hair? I will support you. I would tell, look, I've done this many times. And my wife can tell you. I see a sister with her natural hair and it looks nice. I say, sister, I really like your hair. I see it just like that because sometimes it looks nice. I want to point that out. I'm not being, rude by saying it. I'm just saying, hey, it looks nice. She can have her hair, maybe it's her hair. Not everybody puts hair extensions in their hair. Yes, sisters can actually grow their hair down their back too. I get more pissed off when these Caucasians say she must be having a weave. I've seen plenty of sisters with hair down their back and it's their hair. They can grow their hair out their head like anybody else. Like y'all don't get it. Like the sisters always attacked by their hair 24/7. Like the least we can do, is like chill out with it a little bit, right? You say, well, I don't like it. Okay, well, the woman you're with, choose a woman that don't wear that. I don't know what to tell you, bro. But like I said, you meet a woman that you think is highly attractive, but she wear hair extensions. You ain't gonna be saying nothing about that rah-rah you doing online. You gonna be all hugged up with her, taking pictures on Facebook, talking about how nice she is and how good she look or whatever else. Please. Yeah, that's Yolanda. That's stupid when people say that stuff. Well, no, I'm just being realistic because it's the things cooking with Sade. Yeah, the thing is, it's not really standing up. I'm just trying to get rid of the arguments that we have that's so counterproductive. Like, what is like? I don't get it. Like, we got too many problems to be worrying about what they do, what they have. That's the only thing my thing is. Let's put that to the side and understand where that stuff comes from, where the pressure comes from. Let's deal with that system. Let's deal with that. So none of us have to conform to any images. We can just be our natural selves. You know, you don't think it's right that we got to have a white people's version of ourselves and us version of ourselves? You know exactly what I'm talking about. We'll talk with us a certain way, then we get around them. Oh, yes, Bob. And, you know, why? Because you got to conform, especially these corporate jobs, you got to conform to a certain image with Bob and them. You can't react a certain way around them. Or like, oh, I don't really feel comfortable around him. He's acting a little too black. You say it's not hard for a man to go by look. Look, every man go by looks. Please do. Oh, I'm glad you brought that up. Every man go by looks. You're a fool to think a man don't go by looks. Men go by looks. Period. We not going to even look your way unless we attracted. So yeah, that don't even come to me with that. Well, it's the heart that counts. Man, we get to your heart, but we got to get past the looks first. Men are highly visual. That's our problem. We're extremely visual. And that's why we can be deceived as well because we're too visual. Yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about when I say Bob. You know what I'm talking about. Some of y'all know corporate jobs. You know, they want you talking a certain way and not being, you know. But then when you work in those kind of jobs, and say you kind of by yourself, you see another black person come in, it's like, oh, you know, like that. Oh, brother, sister, how you doing? When you got hired? Like, you're happy. Yeah, it's sad. You're so happy to see another black person. You feel like, oh, I could be myself. I can go talk. Like, come on, man. I don't even know you. Where you from? Man, can we get lunch? Like, it's my first day here. Man, it don't matter, man. It's on me, man. I just want to, you know, you could be yourself. Y'all know what I'm talking about on these jobs. You're just so happy to see black people. You see another black person, it's like, oh, you know, you just getting happy. You getting so happy. Then when y'all start congregating, having a good time, laughing, you know, I mean, you're not being disrupted, laughing. Then they over there looking at you. Every time you get together, they act like you over there planning the next revolution. They like think about it. On jobs, you get together with other black people. They always staring. You notice that? Looky loos. Yeah, I'm just looking at the comments, but yeah, they be looking, boy, be looking hard. Then this was some of them do. So you had that one and say, I'm gonna go over there and see they talking about it. So then you talking, laughing, chilling, and they come over with a smile on their face. It's like what the? And they just come either stand there, or they come like, oh, I kind of heard you guys talking about how you heard us talking way over here. Like, no, you being nosy, Brad. What's going on, man? What's on your mind? Like that. You just being nosy. Well, yeah, I see you saying till you find out they're Oreo or whatever, and you know you got that sometime, but you don't meet a person just because they black right off the back and you start talking about. Man, I'm glad you're here, man. I can't stand him over there. You can't do that. I don't never suggest you talk about other people on the job to people you don't know, and even people you do know. I always say don't say nothing to people behind their backs you can't say to their face. Me, I just want you to do all that. I was gonna tell you how I feel about you to your face, and that's just it. I mean, I'm not gonna, you know. I remember one time on the job, I was getting into it with a dude. Dude say he gonna tell the boss. Say, okay, go tell him. And anything he say, I say, yep, I said it, and this is why I said it. And is there a problem with it? Like me, I don't care, man. I will talk like that. I just don't care because it is a certain way to talk. And I know the person say you talking about you got to conform to certain thing. Well, it's a professional way of talking. That's true, for sure. I'm not saying you go out there acting a fool. You got to keep a level of professionalism. I mean, wherever you at, even if you are in a business owned by someone in our community, you should have a level of professionalism. And some of the issues that some people have in our community about businesses that's owned by us is that professionalism. Well, they ain't professional is this one or professional is that one. And we do need to have a standard, code when it comes to professionalism. Y'all keep asking me about this shirt. Let me tell you about this shirt. This shirt, one night I went to the store. Something told me they had one of those Burke's outlet right there. Something told me, go in that store. They got something in there. I don't know, something's told me that. So I went in there. I was going through the shirts. I found this shirt. And y'all guess how much I paid for this shirt? I only paid $6. $6. It's one of the Egyptian shirts. I don't know if I can kind of, the Egyptian shirts. One of them. Nope, $6 on sale. $6. I caught it on sale. Like me, I don't be trying to spend all that money like some of y'all do. Y'all be going to these stores. Some of y'all in Houston going to the Galleria, but y'all just happy spending $300 on a shirt. I look at you like, what you do that for? Does it, what is it, you gotta give you superpowers or something to be buying all them expensive clothes? Yeah, you're right about that. $300 on a shirt and living on Section 8. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you got $300 for a shirt and you got money to pay your rent, that's how I feel about that. No, I don't have no dashikis. If that's what you're asking. Now, I seen these different kind of African suits they have. Oh, they have this one that won't wait a minute, but I gotta wait a while before I even put myself into that. Cause that's extremely tapered, and I'm like, nope, gotta keep on doing what my doctor telling me to do before we even go that route. Well, it's not the clothes, it's the person how they wear them. That's what it is. That's why you saying about you get your clothes from Walmart and Target. It's just how you wear them. Yeah, wasting. Yeah, $300 on a shirt that you're not gonna keep for years and not gonna keep using it is bad. I don't know. I ain't gonna spend that on a t-shirt. Well, guys, shoot, I didn't realize how late it was. I'm just chilling with y'all, but yeah, the African suit I saw, yeah, no, that thing was nice. Like I said, I when I get it, you'll know. But anyway, like I said, thank you guys for joining me tonight. Just chilling and talking with you guys a little bit. We've been on 2 hours. Y'all late with me tonight. That's definitely. I appreciate y'all showing some love by doing that. And like I said, those of you who, some people just stumbling on here, if you like what you heard tonight, subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate if you subscribe. Click the like button, and share anything that we have here that you maybe can share it, if you can, with your friends and family. Also, like I say, join us on Patreon as well. We definitely need you to help us get to that point we need to, so we can be 100% fan funded. And guys, I'm going to go myself to bed, and I will definitely see you guys next time, because I had a long day today. So anyway, talk to you guys another time.